spend big money on boots or gear, whatever kind of gear that is. I've mentioned to people before, buy the best gear that you can buy, that you can afford. Obviously don't spend money you can't spend, but buy the best you can. And you know what? Look after it, man. These Irish Setter boots, I've had these for a long time. And they're great boots. These are great boots, but I take care of my stuff, right? Treat your gear well and your gear will treat you well. So what I use for my boots is I use mink oil. Mink oil. And I usually do my boots about every 2 months to 3 months. But remember, I do a ton of goddamn hiking. Right, so you probably don't have to do them, you know, if you did them every 6 months, you'd probably be fine. If you're doing a lot of walking, like I am, do them more. Sometimes I'll actually even pull the laces on my boots and pull the laces on the boots and get in the tongue real well, but I just did that last time, so I'm not going to do that this time. Yeah, you know what? Your gear takes care of you out in the bush, so take care of your gear, and it'll last you a long time. I've had these boots for 4 years now, I believe, either 4 or 5 years. And as I say, I don't even know how many miles I do in a year, but a lot. And you can see they're in good shape. So these are Irish Setter elk trackers. They're a great boot, man. They're 1,000 gram of thinsulate, so they don't get too warm. But they keep your feet nice and warm and dry. You know, this goes for all gear too. It's not just your boots, like everything. I've talked about this before. I do, you know, maintenance on stuff like my bow and my gun and my knives. So I do this maintenance on these things because I want them to last. You know, these boots are $500, which is expensive, so I want them to last, man. And this mink oil that I get is $10. $10 for a great big jar of mink oil. And this I've used like a quarter of a jar in 2 years. So rub it in there nice and get it in there good and solid. You will be happy. See the difference? Look at the difference in those boots now. Right? So it waterproofs them and really protects the leather. So get some mink oil, people. Yeah, worth your while. Get some mink oil. Look after your stuff. And just thought I'd show you a quick little how-to on what I use. And you know what? I don't go for the fancy shit, right? I never have and I never will. I go for the stuff that works. And sometimes the fancy stuff works great, but there's boot products out there that are terribly expensive. Not saying there's anything wrong with them, but I have an old saying, I say it all the time, why fix it if it ain't broke? Right, so I've been using mink oil for 20 years, I guess now. I used to before that I used another one, it's called Duck Coat. And I used to use it on my, I had an oilskin jacket that I wore when I was out hunting. And wore it on some horseback hunts and stuff, and Duck Coat was great stuff, but I couldn't find it anymore. And then I got into the mink oil, so why fix it if it ain't broke, right? Anyways, I'm packed up for my trip, my fishing trip. I'm all ready to rock and roll. I'm heading out in the morning, and pretty happy, pretty excited about that. I got, I'm not leaving early in the morning because I was able to get an appointment very quickly to see a surgeon for my shoulder. So I had an MRI done on my shoulder. You guys all know I was going through some pretty serious shoulder issues, shoulder pain for the past 4 years. And my youngest daughter is a registered nurse, and she spoke with one of the surgeons on her ward in the hospital, and that surgeon took it upon himself, God bless him, to look at my MRI. And when he looked at my MRI, 2 days later called me and said, you got to come in and see me. So I got an appointment tomorrow morning to go see the surgeon because I need to get surgery on the shoulder. And apparently it's got to happen fairly soon, so I don't know what that means, but I don't know how soon that means. But so what I've done is I've torn my labrum, which is you got your joint, your arm, and then you got your shoulder, and they go like this, and the labrum is in between the two. And I guess I tore it off the shoulder, most of it, so that's why I'm in such pain with my shoulder. And he's gonna look at getting me in for surgery. So I just said, as long as I can get out in the bush and hike, I don't care if my arm's in a sling. I shoot I shoot right-handed, so the only thing I might not be able to do is do too much fishing, because I generally reel the rod like this, so I don't know, could I do that? We'll see. I'll worry about that later. So I'm pretty thankful to get in and get checked out for surgery. So anyways, there's the boots. Just like brand new again, waterproof. It's awesome stuff, okay? Get yourself some mink oil for your boots, and look after your gear. It'll look after you, all right? Okay, stay safe, everyone.